Like the only existing teammate you had was obviously Reckless from the old days, but then it was when they did this brand new lineup. It was actually where obviously your former OG coach Nico the Pico took over, and he brought in Brox and Caps, people he'd obviously like scouted or whatever, whether the fuck they were playing. Right, what was it like to play with like young Caps? Because everyone now knows like how good he is now, but when he first came in, he was fucking raw. Come on, you gotta have some stories.
I have one story, man. I have one story. It is the funniest thing ever. So, we didn't even started to practice. Okay, we didn't started one game of practice. I mean, I'm playing a solo queue. There's Caps in my team. He's playing Talon, I think. I think he was playing Talon. I don't remember, but he was like, I was playing top, he was playing mid, he was playing Talon, and he was like really inting in my in my team. And we didn't play one script together, but I met him like a few games before that and stuff like this, and I think he was like 06, 07 or whatever, and then he was just rage splitting the entire game, and I think he ended up like, I don't know, maybe like 0-18, 1-18, and he just kept on dying, and he was like, I was so pissed, and I was like laughing at the same time because he was not too far from me, you know, and he was, yeah, it was an experience, you know, to have that like just before starting to practice. So, but overall with Caps after that, I think, how do I put it? There is a lot of, I don't know if this is the correct way to phrase it, but growing pains.
Sure, yeah.
It was really difficult at times, but I think he learned the right way, I want to say. And why he learned the right way, I think, is because he's really interested in the game overall. And a lot of players, for example, you know, mid laners are gonna learn about mid jungle or whatever, right? But Caps is always interested, asking questions, asking how certain matchups are gonna go. Like, he wants to know how your bottom lane is gonna go, so he can eventually impact that in the game, right? So. Sure. A lot of people are focusing what they think they should focus on, but Caps is interested in learning about everything, and I think that's why he became such a great player overall.
Do you see any comparisons with your old mid lane teammate Expeke? I mean, it seems like he's kind of a playmaker as well, right? Just a guy who's just doesn't even have to almost be a leader, just influential. People follow him, do what he wants.
Yeah, for sure. Caps also like bring people together. Like, he's always like in a good mood and everything. So he brings people together in a different way than Peke. But for sure, Peke was a bit the same. Much more different play style, I want to say, but they are in the same way. Peke was also interested in like. In trying to impact other things than just his lane, and I think that's how everyone should view the game, honestly, regardless of position. But yeah, a lot of similarities, even though their early game playstyle was a bit different.
Yeah. Well, when you say that last bit there, maybe we can explore that a little bit. Because I kind of get what you mean by that. Like, what I think is, when I think of people like Expeke, what I think of is, like, they weren't just, he wasn't just a good mid laner. He was just good at the game League of Legends. Like, he learned how to win in all those scenarios. Like, obviously one of the classic things you guys used to do back in the day when you did the Fnatic brush, like, that doesn't work every time. Like, people don't get it. You have to actually, like, have a really good, like, feel for the game for when you can do a move like that to get back in the game. Otherwise, you just sit in a bush and then more time goes by, you lose more levels, you use towers. Like, you have to basically know, like, how the game's played. Whereas, like, as you're saying, there's lots of people who are very good at their position, or if you put them in a random team, they'd be a good top laner, jungler, whatever. But it's like another level where you're trying to be a champion, right?
Yeah, for sure. But I think the game was just much more different back then, so maybe it was also easier to. You wouldn't get punished as hard as like back then if you are spending time doing something that was not necessarily right. So now you have to maybe think a little bit more, but also it depends on the game. It depends on a lot of different things. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, really.